Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be going over my recent thoughts about my liver and gallbladder flush, as well as talking about how you can incorporate it into your fasting cycle. All right, guys, so as you know, a few months ago, I started doing the liver and gallbladder flush. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, I have seen very positive results from doing the liver and gallbladder flush. It is something I definitely recommend, and it's something I will continue to utilize. I did take a break from using it for a while, but I'm actually about to get right back into the swing of things as the summer is here now, and I've decided to start doing my summer therapies. I've spoke about this in the past. It's going to be really, really amazing this summer. For those of you who are on the Patreon account, you already know I've announced it and also told you my plan. For you guys here on YouTube, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be updating my progress on Patreon, and then at the end of the summer or at the end of a particular therapy, I'll be doing a video for you guys that'll be like a long video to kind of recap everything that I experienced. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be including the liver and gallbladder flush, as well as several different types of fasts, as well as, dry fasting. I haven't done the dry fasting yet, and I haven't done juice fasting yet, to be honest with you. So we'll be looking at those. But today I wanted to recap how I feel about the liver and gallbladder flush, and also to dispel some of the notions that it's ineffective. So one of the first things that I realized when I was researching the liver and gallbladder flush is that there was a idea out there that it wasn't really working, and what you were seeing weren't really gallstones. And for the most part, you're not seeing gallstones, you're seeing bile stones, and those are coming from the liver being clogged. Now, me personally, I haven't actually seen any gallstones, but once again, it is a liver and gallbladder flush. So as long as one of the major organs are being vitalized, I'm okay with that. I don't know, maybe I don't have like major gallstone issues, and maybe that's why I don't see them come out. But for the most part, I do just see the bile stones. Now, what a lot of people are saying is that it is pretty much a coagulation of the mixture that you take, which is oil and a citrus. I do grapefruit. I believe you can also do lemon, and the book outlines other. Now, just quickly to let you know, the book is called The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush by Andreas Moritz. And I will leave that book in the description box for you guys if you want to check it out, as well as I'll be leaving a card here for you guys to check out the liver and gallbladder flush video I did originally, and you can see how to kind of get started. Now, after doing the flush for, 6 months or so, I've got a few things that I need to tell you guys, and just be prepared. Some of it might sound a little graphic. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to test what it would be like to do a liver flush and then strain or stress the liver, okay? Now, as some of you guys know, I still do drink wine on occasion, as well as one other vice or two other vices. I might eat a little pizza, something like that every once in a while. And so what I wanted to do is see how my body will react after a flush to putting these things in my body that I knew actually weren't good for me. The first thing that I noticed that was really, really, knocked me right in the side was I had some wine after my flush. It might have been the day after, and my liver actually started to hurt. It was probably the first time that I've ever experienced pain like that in this region of my body. And of course, the only thing that I could think of that's there is the liver. It was like a discomfort. Okay. It wasn't like, cringing, like stomach cramps, but it was more like, just like, I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe a sharp discomfort is kind of how it felt. And it did last long enough for me to be like, whoa, like clearly this wine is having, and it wasn't even, I drank some wine, and it probably was within 3 minutes, if that I started feeling this pain in my liver. So right there, I realized that, we drink alcohol and we put toxins in our body. And the reason we're okay with doing that is because of the protective lining that our body provides us with. All right. This is where the mucus kind of comes into play, where it kind of coats your insides, and it will protect you from some of the acidity and the toxicity that we're consuming. Well, at this point in time, I had flushed a lot of that mucus out, and obviously doing the liver and gallbladder flushes had also, one of the things Andreas talks about is when you do the flush, it's like you actually, your body went through a major surgery. So it's very important to rest. Now, I knew that there was going to be people out there who were like, oh, that's no big deal. I'll do the flush, yada, 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 and I'll go about my business. But the first couple of flushes, I didn't have, any issues. But by the third or fourth flush, my body had become hypersensitive. And when I say hypersensitive, I'm going to be talking about the next issue that I experienced on my fifth or sixth flush. So I'm not 100% sure what caused this, but around my fifth or sixth flush, I'm sure it was from drinking or something like that. I actually started to pee blood, and I wanted to let you guys know this because it's something that if you don't take care of your body when it gets to this level of health and cleanliness, you're going to start seeing things like that. Now, I was a little freaked out, I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't freaked out to the point where I was like, oh my God, I gotta go to the doctor, because I understood what was happening. When you commit to a healthy lifestyle, and you're doing these radical things to get your body, vitalized, you also have to remember that you gotta be very careful about what you're putting back in your body. So it's a good idea that when you start going down this road and you're doing all of these things to get healthy, you also want to be transitioning simultaneously out of the bad habits. All right, get away from the drinking, get away from the smoking, and get away from prescription drugs, as well as, toxic foods that are harmful. It's a journey, right? So slowly be walking away from those things. And what I have found is the healthier I get, the more my body lets me know, oh, hey, come on, I'm hurting. So it makes it really easy to stay away from those things, because something as extreme as that, it will scare most people. I want to say it probably lasted for about maybe 2 or 3 days. And then it completely went away. There was no pain, no discomfort, nothing like that. And the best I could tell is just that, the alcohol went in there and damaged some of the soft, sensitive tissue there. And that's all there is to it. There wasn't that protective lining there. Those gallstones build up in your liver and things like that. And that also helps protect and do all these things. So, while we think, the gallstones are bad, yeah, but they also do serve a purpose because we're constantly toxifying our body. All right. One other thing I did experience on probably, I think, my fourth flush, and I think that this was because I took too much Epsom salt by accident. So be very careful about the measurements when you're doing your flush, and you guys will be familiar when you read the book. But I had a really, really dry throat for a few days. It got itchy and scratchy, and if I didn't know any better, I would have thought I was sick, right? But I think I just took too much salt. You got to be careful with the Epsom salt because it will dry you out. And one thing that, people ask me a lot about is the saltwater flush. Do I approve of it? Do I do it? What are my thoughts? Briefly, I've never done it. I've seen it done, and I understand how salt kind of interacts in our body. And so I don't really like the flush. It's not that I would say that I'm against it, because essentially I do the same thing with the Epsom salt when I do my liver and gallbladder flush. But you don't want to overdo it with the salt flushes, okay? So if you're doing a salt flush once a week, I would personally say cut that out. It's something that you want to use sparingly, and just be cautious about it. It will, dry you out. It will dehydrate you and things like that. So just be cautious when you're using those saltwater flushes. Okay, so what I experienced on my gallbladder and liver flush is a sense of relief, especially in my urethra area. If you guys have watched my older videos one of the things that I was dealing with for a long time was an irritation, and that irritation has subsided tremendously. Now, obviously, it's a combination of the way I eat now, the fasting I've been doing, but I did experience a noticeable change when I started doing the liver and gallbladder flushes. One thing I want to point out to you guys is, you know, some people will be like, well, Chris, why are you still doing all this healthy stuff? Like, you're pretty healthy, you eat well. At the end of the day, the reality is that my goal is total health, right? So I'm looking for mental, physical, and spiritual health. And I want to experience our bodies the way that they're meant to be experienced. So I will keep doing whatever I need to do to get to that point. And for me, it's feeling comfortable in my body and also not having to worry about my glasses. So this summer, I will be focusing on healing my eyes again, which is something I started at the end of last summer, but I didn't really follow through. And so now that I've got the sun back, I'm gonna be doing some new therapies and, you know, getting in the sun more. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some improvement in my eyes this summer, if not completely healing my eyes. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's my goal. And whether I hit it this summer or next summer, it's gonna happen eventually. And when it does, you guys will be the first to know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you wanna see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the Facebook group. We just hit over 10,000 members. So congratulations to us for all of us, you know, committing to our health. The group is super, super active. It's a very, very positive group. So if you need support or anything like that, come check it out. Don't forget, I've got Patreon going. I've got some amazing things coming in the future. Probably within the next month or so, I'm going to be bringing out some really, really fun and exciting announcements. So check out Patreon, especially if you guys want to download any of the MP3s of any of the interviews or videos I've done. I've got those there for you, as well as a couple other treats. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I'll see you guys later.